It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports, and we'll see the Aviators' versatile running back. He had a great week to build off of last time out, reaching triple digits and adding 2 touchdowns. It's the Aviators and the Voyagers, and it's all up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League takes us to British Columbia and the gleaming jewel that is Vancouver, Canada. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup. We are all set to go, as it'll be the Aviators of Boston taking on the Voyagers of Vancouver. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis joining you from the booth. And Charles, we take a peek at this Vancouver team entering play. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations,
your months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And he made both sides happy last week, didn't he?
3-3.
I mean, his guys, they caught 3 touchdown passes, but he threw 3 interceptions. Gotta get off of that schneid and get back to just throwing touchdown passes and taking care of the ball better.
A pass there over the middle to start things out. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Fights through it. They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown! A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Voyagers need just 3 plays to go down and take the early lead. Well, they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was 1 drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And he's going to take this all the way down inside the 40.
Well, he gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
So now you've got their offense coming out for the first time with great initial field position. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a first throw of the afternoon, and the connection is there. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and 1.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. So the big return had them fired up, but in the end, the offense stalls out. They only muster 3.
Yeah, the excitement was there after the return, but they didn't move the ball at all after that. They didn't even get a 1st down.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. 1-7, their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now, this organization, more than likely, if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 16 carries, 120 yards even.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. And we're at the 41, 2nd and 9. He'll drop to throw. And he fires one incomplete. When you look at this defense, they enter play 1 from the bottom, number 31 in the league, Charles, against the run.
And that's been an Achilles heel for them all season long, being able to play against the run, being able to slow teams down. But it's not just that. When you give up big chunks of yardage in the running game, it also opens up the passing options for the team you're playing as well. So typically, when you don't play the run well, you're getting hit in all phases.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards.
I haven't met a quarterback yet that didn't enter the league with a massive chip on his shoulder if he wasn't a first-round pick. They want to show the league that they made a big mistake. Determined to get the first down there, no hesitation at all to tuck it and go. I bet he would have tried running through their entire defense if it meant reaching that marker.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Here's 2nd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's good for 28 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Now back to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
They'll try to run this one in. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Well, the Vancouver offense ready for their next drive. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Now an option play on 2nd down. And he probably should have given that one off as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring out those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's a quick throw left side to start things out. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 8. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. Back to throw again. Under pressure and down he goes. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. We had a pretty good idea that they were going to pressure this young quarterback, and that's now 2 sacks here in the first quarter.
And yeah, this is a secret to exactly nobody, because if you're a rookie quarterback, you know you're going to see pressure. Defenses want to see how you're going to handle it, or if it forces you into making bad decisions. That's their goal.
Following the punt return here, there is someone shaken up. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Give them 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. Austin's offense ready to go again. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
11 yards for number 11. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Point after try forthcoming. And it's up. It's good. Our score, 14-6. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Austin's offense ready to go again. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. I don't know what this says about me, but I love successful runs up the middle when the blocking is so well executed like that.
And it doesn't matter whether it's zone blocking, whether it's a power scheme. When you have a blocker on a defender and then the running back can read it, find the proper hole, and just go, it's sometimes a thing of beauty.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
They'll set up to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And the 10-year vet knocks it toward the goalpost, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a 1st down himself.
And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play. Tough spot looking at 2nd and 16 here after the big loss. They'll drop to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
But the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return.
The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
They'll let the QB keep it here off the option. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st
down. He's going to keep this again.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
Shreds him with a stiff arm. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 16-yard line.
Looking to throw. Now he'll escape to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain, so when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a 1st down.
And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's 3rd down.
Touchdown! From 6 yards away.
And the Voyagers add 6 to their lead.
A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. Taking it about the 1. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Austin's offense ready to go again. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
First down, Aviators.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. 13 yards remaining on 2nd down. Back to throw here. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Here's 3rd and 3. He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now a diving effort right sideline. He's got it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Back to throw now on 1st down. Now they go screen. It's complete. The 1st down screen pass, good for 5.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception, and that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
2nd and 5. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
They'll look to throw again. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. Still going inside the 20. Touchdown! A great effort there. 68 yards. And the Voyagers are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. And I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that, so he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. This offense back to work now late in this first half. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
A good first down call as the screenplay gets him 9. Second down and a yard.
Brings up second and 1.
They're going to look to throw. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Fielded just inside the 20. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And they will take over first and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll look to throw. That is caught. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10. He'll look to throw. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Third down and 10 yards to go.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. So after a very one-sided first half, what will the second half bring as we are back underway on EA Sports? And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Now this offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible, let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
It's a gain of 6. And an Austin first down.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game, back to the ground. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
First down, Austin.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half.
Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, if they score here, this one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory. And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Now here's a handoff out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back 2-yard losses, and that sets up a tough 3rd and 14.
Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench, not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
Austin's offense ready to go again. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Can't get away, and he's taken down. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Voyagers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown.
And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Austin's offense ready to go again.
And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now back to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He's been a one-man wrecking crew these last couple of plays. This time 18 more and a first down. They'll look to throw here. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game, facing challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. And the defense coming through on 3rd down, a loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
Well, that was an interesting little chess match there because the offense went empty set. No running backs in the backfield, so they're trying to get people out into a route pretty quickly. But guess what? The defense sees that. They go ahead and move themselves into a blitzing situation and come right after the quarterback. They had more guys there than they could block.
And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even
set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. Boston's offense ready to go again. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. In trouble, and he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And on now is the punter, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Back to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Austin's offense ready to go again. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Well, the Vancouver offense ready for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their...
And he is into the
end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his third touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year.
And the Voyagers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Austin's offense ready to go again. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD, but unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And he is stopped just short on third down. Got 9 yards, but needed 10.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series.
And Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York? And he's into the clear. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
133 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
At the 48-yard line.
And he'll decide to keep this once more.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty. They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on 3rd. Looking to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Now 2nd and 3.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across.
John Harbaugh never shy about bringing out the red challenge flag, and he'll do so here. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Back to throw again.
That one thrown across his body, and it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout that's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
First down, Aviators.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23.
Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24.
2nd and 4 at the 24-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. And an Austin first down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
1 yard gain.
2nd and 9.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
48 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 8 yards out.
And the Aviators are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Obviously, the scoreboard right now is not the friend of this rookie quarterback, but hey, a touchdown pass there maybe builds a little confidence.
Every rep is valuable when you're a rookie. Every time you step up and throw the football, there's a lesson to be learned. Yeah, he took advantage of a little bit of loose coverage there with the lead, but at the same time, got it done. It'll take a little bit of satisfaction away from that throw.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series. And it is starting to appear, thankfully for them, that this is the week they're going to put it all together and end that long losing streak. They're not home yet, but in control in the 4th quarter.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Back to throw here.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Well, up big here in the 4th quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
So a change of possession here on the punt. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
First down, Austin.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Again, he'll drop to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They'll look to throw again.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The Vancouver offense out and about set for another series. Now they are really in the driver's seat here, enjoying this lead late in the 4th quarter. The defense does have all 3 timeouts, but at this point, doesn't look like it's going to matter much.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
160 yards rushing now as he's done it on 22 carries.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44.
It's a 10-yard pickup, and that's enough to move the chains.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for